YouTube, Bad Wolf, once again, bringing you guys some more interesting information. Now, I talked about this some time ago in light on a couple videos, which basically I said I probably wasn't going to ever get into, which was like more so like the accepted for value and using like those accounts and things of that nature. Because that part of it's just not really mine. But one avenue I will bring to you out of those after reconsidering is the negotiable instruments. Now, I know it sounds like a big scary word, kind of, like what is it? Long story short, it's a promissory note. Okay, so it's the kind of note that when um, you want to pay off, like, a friend or a buddy or whoever else, you write them an IOU. That's, street terminology. IOU is a promissory note. Promissory note is a negotiable instrument, which is what we're talking about. Okay, but this is going to be, I mean, it's the same thing, but when you call it this and you write it up in a certain way, it has power. Okay, what is it? What can you do with it? All right, so believe it or not, as I told you before in one of the other videos about your signature has power. You are, in fact, a creditor and you don't even realize it. As you use your signature on anything, typically that can become a bond. It can become a payoff. You can pay off things with your signature. Now, one of the ways you can do this is by going on Google and typing in negotiable instrument, um, or sample promissory notes, anything along those lines, and it'll come up with a screen like this behind me. Once you have one of these, now, hold on, let me stop. If you're like me, you're actually in a foreign jurisdiction because you've declared your house to be foreign. So you would use like one of the forms that I have, which is basically it says International Bill of Exchange is what they call it. You're an average person would just be negotiable instrument if you haven't done such with your house and status and things of that nature. You're still in their jurisdiction, or depending on if you've claimed it or not. Anyway, so um, you would take a sample one like this, and there's key elements in there. You have to have a place to put your name, the person who it's going to, like your bank. Now, this is all hypothetical. If you're going to pay off a credit card or, home or, car note, student loans, child support, once again, this is not advice. This is just information, and what you do with it is up to you. Certain people I know have used for certain things and have accomplished, those debts being wiped out. And so now that I have your attention, but how do you go about doing it? So, like I said, you Google those terms: negotiable instrument, promissory note, sample. You'll come up with this information in the back. Once you have it, you fill out the key areas, or you make your own on your computer with key areas such as, who it's going, like a check. Okay, your date, where you put your name, the amount written, the amount in numbers, the terms of it, which would be like, I promise to pay, 400 bucks a month on the first Thursday or Friday or on the first of each month, until paid. And once you go through all of that, one of the key lines you're going to put in there is you're going to put for value received, and the holder or the holder in due course, I hereby give permission to leverage or monetize this note in any form that they need in order to pay off this debt, or in exchange for paying off, this debt. So what they'll do is they'll take that. Okay, and let me back up. If you're gonna do this, don't put any federal numbers on there. You create your own numbers and you create your own um, journal and keep your numbers of who you paid, how much, the date, the serial number you address to each one on that notepad. Okay, and then you're going to send this only into confidentially. So on the outside of the envelope, you put confidential information for the eyes of the CEO, CFO, or COO only. Okay, then you put the address. Of course, you put attention to those people, confidential materials. to them only. You can put their name on there if you want, or just their positions, but don't just send it in. Don't walk into a bank trying to give it to a teller. The low level functionaries are not going to know what it is or how to deal with it. These places, they don't have to accept them, but laws are in place that say that no place is supposed to really reject your form of payment. Um, and here's the thing, you're thinking it's just a piece of paper with your name on there and some blah, blah, blah. How could that possibly work? Once again, it's because I told you your signature is worth power. Because here's what they're going to do. So now we're going to jump back to where I left off. Once you have all that pertinent information on there, do your research, look at numbers, a number of samples until you get it right. Yes, I do have this available. I have mine. Yes, it'd be like $50, same as all the other donation for all the forms. There are people who have a business out there who do this professionally, who charge $1,000 just to write these up. You don't have to do that. No offense to them. Not trying to take any money from people's pockets. Also, just trying to help out the little man. Okay, so in fact, I know specifically a place that actually does this, and they charge a percentage of however much your house is worth, because if you're going to pay it off with their note, they want like 1%, 10%, or whatever else, which really is not bad. So if I'm only charging $50, for this, but you can do it for free, just do a little research. It's up to you. Okay. Like I said, this channel is a Northside channel. We're going to find ways to do it free or cheap as possible, um, so that you can, start living a better life. All right. Stop being a slave. So what ends up happening is, when you have your sheet ready, you send it to the appropriate people, confidential. You put on there like, um, uh, you know, this must be returned within, 15 days, 5 days, 30 days. If not, it is believed that you have accepted it. And if not returned, it's considered theft, and I must be compensated, 100% of the value, things of that nature. Just, little hooks so that they return it back to you. Take that time to do it, because otherwise, here's what happens. Okay, here's what they can do, and here's what happens. If they accept it, or even if they tell you they're not going to accept it and they keep it, this becomes one and the same, what I'm about to tell you. They'll take it and they'll leverage it, which is another name for monetizing. Monetizing is just another word for they're about to trade it. Okay, they literally will take that note, because now it's a note, it's an actual instrument. Once you sign it and you have it written the way you do, it's a legal binding form of payment, money. They will then take it and go to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve will then say, yep, this is foreign currency, and I'm going to monetize it for you. So not only are they going to give them that value, but they usually extend up to 10 times that value. They can either submit it to that bank, this one, or whatever. They can get 10 times the value. So if you're trying to pay off your $100,000 house, guess how much you just made the bank? So do you think that they want to take that note? Yeah, because they're going to have a lot of credit, and banks are greedy, and it's money. And they'll play it off to you like, I don't know, let's come up with a fake name like Fells Wargo, who did this to me years ago, never returned mine, and kept it and got that money because I didn't put the proper things, like it needed to be returned, this, that, and the other. And then they sent me a letter saying, oh, well, you didn't pay as agreed, but a little older and a little wiser. And let's just say that process is starting today. Something might have been sent to them. So we're going to see how that plays out, and I will let you know what happens when we go through it. Either it'll be a yay video, or I forgot something, or let's see what kind of crap they come up with. I don't know. So anyway, so they get up to 10 times the amount of credit for your negotiable instrument. So does that entice them to want to just wipe out yours with their credit they're going to get? Yes. But make sure that you have clauses in yours that makes them either have to return it, say that you're willing to follow up with a lawsuit, it's theft, whatever, however you want to phrase it, do that. Because if you don't, you're going to get gypped. Been there, done that. I just made them probably about, $1 million, a couple years ago. So, but anyway, that's about it, guys. I told you, what capabilities as an informational purposes you can possibly do with this information. How to send it, putting hooks in on there. Oh, you're probably thinking, well, what if they, say that they're gonna come and collect this debt on the first of each month, and you start freaking out like I did a long time ago. Oh my God, but I can't really afford this. Well, one, you're gonna want to make sure that these payments are already what you're paying them. So if you have a $400 car note, make it $400. Don't make it 1,000 or 1,500. Don't be crazy. So then, if they do decide to, call to come and collect the payment every month, which they're lazy and they're greedy, so they're not going to do that. All right. Um, you can make the payments, but like 9 out of 10 times, they don't. Okay. And it's easier for them to take that and go to the Federal Reserve and say it's foreign currency. Can this be monetized? Can you monetize this? They do that, and then in exchange for that. So, but you have to have your numbers documented on it, so that if it doesn't come back, you can send them another letter and say, hey, you kept my negotiable instrument with this serial code on there. If it's not returned in its original form, and not a copy of, then I'm going to sue you for the full amount times, 100% or whatever of the value, because you might have monetized it. So either I want the cash value or I want my, form back, period. That's how you play the game. Be smart. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Stay healthy, stay warm, stay happy, or stay in bliss, I should say, because happy actually means happenings of things. So we don't want things, just random things happening, or positive happenings. How about that? Don't forget to hit that bell, like, subscribe on the way out. I'll get the lights. Tell your friends and family. Once I have some more time, I'm going to start putting some great offers down there. Well, there's already offers down in the descriptions. But the channel that pops up, check out my top offers. I'm going to start filling that up with other things that I'm going to actually sell and whatever else coming up. Different products that are hot and reasonable and whatever else. And yeah, I'll probably make a little bit off of there because, I keep everything pretty cheap, but brother, still got to keep the lights on. So for those people who have sent the random donations, appreciate it. All amounts are welcome. I've gotten $2 or $3 and I've gotten $100, so cool. Either way, it all means a lot to me. I definitely appreciate it. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you find this beneficial. Talk to you later. Bad Wolf, over and out.